Hello, my name is Brian McAvoy and welcome to part 3 in my video series on elections and voting. This is the last video and we'll be going over how to find credible sources of information and news. Finding reliable sources of news is difficult today because of the internet and cable TV, which provide more choices. This abundance of choices led to a lot of unreliable websites and TV channels becoming popular and confused with reliable news. The purpose of this video will be to provide advice on how to find news and information that is accurate and has little or no bias. And I'll also be providing some recommendations down in the description box below. Okay, here are some tips on how to avoid, bad news and inaccurate news and to try and find reliable news. Okay, the first tip would be to look for disclaimers and to identify what type of article you're looking at. Some disclaimers are pretty easy, as this article is meant to be satirical. Okay, but that can usually be told if the title is really outrageous, like something about the president eating babies or something like that. And then there's also the type of article, like is this meant to be like a report or is it an opinion and editorial article? Usually newspapers will put those articles like in the back section of the section, but sometimes nowadays because of the internet, that's a little tougher to find. So the best you can do is to just look underneath the title and they'll basically tell you most of the time. And if not, just pay attention to the tone of the article and try to identify who the author is, because certain authors are journalists and columnists tend to be more opinion based and others are more factually based. Okay, and second tip I'll provide you is to beware of sponsored content. Some news articles will have a note by the title that shows that the article was sponsored by a certain company, and this is a red flag because that means that the article may have a lot of bias. Let's say, for example, an oil company is sponsoring an article about climate change. That is definitely going to contain some bias, clear biases and distortions. Okay, so the third piece of advice I'll offer is to beware of articles with leading titles. Articles will sometimes bait readers by with titles meant to grab the interest of the reader. For example, some articles would be titled, "This video will blow your mind," or "Watch Smith destroy Johnson on the economy." You'll find lots of those articles on BuzzFeed or Upworthy, those. So just, avoid articles if they, have way too obvious, they're obviously trying to appeal to a certain demographic and certain biased population. Okay, now I'm going to provide you with a couple, recommendations. Okay, the League of Women Voters, once again, they are wonderful, so always check them out if you're looking for information. They're available at the libraries, so support the libraries. Wikipedia is okay, just try to, once again, be very careful when using Wikipedia, especially since anyone can edit it, but there is still a lot of, good to be found in Wikipedia and other wikias for that matter. Then there's also USA Today. That's a very good newspaper, very non-biased. There's Buffalo News, New York Times, Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, those are all really good. Also PBS, also a very good site. BBC, another good news channel. NPR, very good, whether you can listen to it on the radio or, the NPR is also on the internet and you can read articles there. PolitiFacts.com, amazing website. They'll basically rate the truth and the truth of any comment that a public figure makes, and they'll on a scale from true, mostly true, to half truth, to mostly false, to pants on fire lies. So it's very good, and I highly recommend you see it. They won the Pulitzer Prize, so it's definitely means something. And also another good wikia that I found is Ballotpedia.org. It's basically a wikia dedicated entirely to politics, and they provide news, election results, biographies on candidates, information on the candidates' views. They also even provide information on campaign donations, so if you're curious about that, Ballotpedia's got you covered. No. So there's ontheissues.org, which will basically provide you with, a long list of any public figure, presidential candidate or senator, congressman's views on any variety of issues. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Goodbye and happy voting.